So good evening everybody, and a very warm welcome to my channel. My name's Susanna and I am the MP3 Piaggio Explorer. Well, I should say the Piaggio MP3 Explorer. And something a little bit different tonight. We have a night ride home. We've just left work. It's now about midnight, and it's been, let's say, not the best of days. And so now I'm riding home from work, and I thought I'd show you this journey so you can see for yourselves what it's like to ride at night. And just to show you that my little Piaggio MP3 gets a workout, come rain, wind or shine, and night as well. And you know, I'm not expecting this to be the greatest view in the world, if I'm being honest, because excuse me, like I said, I'm still under the weather. Because there's a large portion of this journey which is just going to be unlit, and all you're going to get is the headlight lighting the way, a bit like now. And I'm using the helmet cam tonight, and that's purely because of the fact that if I put it on my body cam, then you definitely won't see anything, because the last time I sort of experimented with it, basically all you got was the dark visor, the windscreen, and you just couldn't see anything. Here you've got a bit more of a chance of seeing something. So yeah, we've got a night ride home. And one of the other reasons for me doing this is because I want to get it on record, the view that I'm getting with this headlight, because I'm not impressed with it at all. And the headlight on this is the standard headlight that you get with a Piaggio MP3. So if you're somebody who's planning on getting one of these, and you're planning it to use in similar conditions to me, then that's something to bear in mind. So at the moment you've got the street lighting, which is helping the view, but like I said, it's going to get very dark very soon. But it will give you an idea of what it's like to ride this thing at night through the roads that I ride on. These same picturesque roads that I come sometimes during the daytime, and you just think to yourself, these roads are really inviting, I'd love to ride on those roads. But then at night, like now, it just takes on a whole different complexion. I've been doing this route for about 15 years or so, so I know the road, but that doesn't mean that I take liberties with it. I still kind of have my wits about me, because I don't want to get caught out. You never know. Debris, I mean, obviously you can't help things like debris, potholes that you see at the last minute, or wildlife. You just can't legislate for stuff like that, which is why you have to have your wits about you. So here we go. Into the darkness we go. And it's literally just the headlight of the scooter. And it looks like quite a bright night, so that might help us. And I wanted to record this not only just for you guys, but for me, because like I said, I'm not particularly impressed with this brightness and what you can see and how far it lights up the roads. And I spoke to Dearden's, and that's basically a Piaggio dealer, and basically I spoke to them about my headlight situation, and there was a few options for the Piaggio MP3, and one of the options was an LED conversion kit that you can put on these things. However, that being said, I was also advised against it, because you have to be really careful with these LED conversion kits, because the LEDs get really hot and they can actually damage the light cluster because they get so hot and they deform it. And also with these LEDs, they got a little fan. These LED bulbs, they got a little fan at the back of them that works to cool them down. Did you see that? Woo! That was close. Wow. I don't know if that caught the camera, but look, that was fucking close. Sorry, my apologies. Woo! That's what I mean. Right on the bend, I couldn't see that. Thankfully, I got away with it. You can't legislate for things like that. You've got to have your wits about you. And yeah, that was wow. That was sketchy. Oh dear, the joys of riding at night. But I mean, to be honest, there's something about riding at night, that whole kind of risk versus reward kind of thing. You know, it is risky, it is dangerous, but it's hugely satisfying when you get home and you kind of survived it. And like I said, I've done it when it was like absolutely hammering it down and sort of like really strong winds and stuff, and you're getting battered by the wind and the rain, you know, and it feels like such an achievement when you get home. Wow, that was really close. That would have hurt. Wow. So anyway, so these lights, to be honest, if I put the new lights on, I don't think they would have, well, fortunately that was an ambulance, so that would have been lucky. I would have been, you know, if I did it and come off, then that ambulance would have seen me. Yeah, so I spoke to Dearden's, which is a Piaggio dealer, and for those of you who don't know where they are, they're based in the New Forest, Southampton area. So if you are one of those people that lives in that kind of part of the world, then by all means, you know, that's one of the places you can go. I mean, where I live in Alton, that is pretty much the nearest go-to place, or taking my scooter back down to London where it came from. So anyway, I was talking to him about these headlights and what the options were, and like I said, there was an LED option, but they get very hot. But there is a fan that operates them. The problem with those, and this is why I really didn't, that's why I didn't go for it, is that there's no way of telling if the fan fails, because you've got no dial on the dash, or you've got no light on the dash to tell you that one of them's failed, and it's hidden behind the fairing, and you've got absolutely no way of knowing until it's too late. And so I spoke to them about it, and I said that I'm not so keen on that. And the other thing is it was really expensive. It was the most expensive option. I think it was about over 80 quid or something like that for the pair. So we looked at other options, and it turns out that there is, and I said to him, look, isn't there anything kind of like plug and play? You know, I don't really want to just have to mess around having to do wiring or soldering and that kind of stuff just to get this to work, and, you know, wire it into the main battery and all that. I said, I don't want any of that, I'm not good at that, and I don't want to damage the scooter. And they looked into it, and it turns out that there is actually a plug and play option. and I will show you that on another video, assuming this video goes out. So we'll have to wait and see. The thing is, to be honest, I've had it for a few weeks now. I've had it for about 3 weeks, and the first week I couldn't really do anything about it because the weather wasn't too clever, so I couldn't do anything. And then last weekend it was sun shining, but I was too coward to do it. I didn't really fancy it. I didn't have the guts to do it. I wasn't sure of my ability and my skills of doing it, and how difficult it would be, if I'm being honest. So it's being a scaredy cat. And then this weekend just gone, I've been ill all week, and this weekend I just wasn't really in the mood for doing too much. And I ended up putting on the mount on the scooter. Woo! Oh wow, that was a bit of wake turbulence from the water tanker. Yeah, you can feel that. I mean, when I look at the road, it actually doesn't look too bad, the light, but I did end up getting a new set of lights. I think they're called night crackers or something. They got this really fancy name. They're actually by Osram, and Osram are more well known for home bulbs. You know, for the light bulbs you stick in at home. Not really for, well, at least that's my view of it. And you know, that was kind of my view. And so I didn't know they did these, but apparently they do. So I've got these two. They're cheaper. They're £40 for the pair, because this scooter needs two. And the thing is, it's like if I put on the full beam, I think it's actually worse. I don't like it. As you can see on my dash, hopefully, you can see the blue. And it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't do anything. So I end up riding it with the main beam all the time, because I prefer it like that. And then that way, I don't have to worry about oncoming traffic flashing me because I've forgotten to turn on the full beam. So go around this bend. To go down this long straight bit now. Now when you come around this twisty S-bend here, I've had a deer on this corner as well. And sometimes that's the thing, you know, especially on a motorbike, on a scooter, you kind of tend to hug the inner line quite a bit. And sometimes, you know, all of a sudden this deer pops up out of nowhere. And this corner I've also understeered quite a bit, because it's quite deceptive and I've got it wrong a few times. Mainly because of me coming in a bit too hot, I think, sometimes. And then I realised it's a bit sharper than I thought it was. So here we go. Another straight bit. And this is my daily commute. This isn't like I'm doing this especially for YouTube. This is actually my daily commute. When I finish work, I can usually come home this way, because this is the main road. And it takes about, for those of you wondering, it's about 16, 17 miles from where I live to where I work. The temperature is currently 7 degrees, according to my screen. The fuel's depleting a little bit, but it's very good on fuel. Well, it has to be. It needs to be in these current times. With all things considered, with all these things going on in the world. So I'm quite grateful not to be driving around in a car, in some ways, just for that fact, for that alone. So we go, slowing down. It says 50, but I don't do. I'm just easing off the throttle and coast it round. Get a lot of cars buried in the hedge around here, in the ditch. And to be honest, I mean, I know I say you should have your wits about you, which you should, and I do, but it's quite nice just to have a chat on the way home, because I don't feel so lonely out here. Sometimes it can be quite lonely. I mean, this is what, we're in March, 31st of March today. This is a long straight, but again, I've had this cross me, in front of me here. I was meant to stop off in Halfords today on the way to work. I was watching All Christy Kits, is it? I can never remember. And she was recommended by some other YouTubers about some stuff for the visor, and she said it works. But for me, it's more of a fog. I need to get a pin lock for my helmet, but I am thinking of replacing my helmet at some point, so I don't know. So it looks like I can't come down this way tomorrow anyway, judging by those road signs, because there'll probably be temporary lights tomorrow. Oh. On the final stretch. Oh, boop, 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 boop. Like I say, at night these roads look totally different. They're not as inviting as they are during the bright sunny days. But to be honest, I quite revel in it. I quite like it. Like I said, it's that risk kind of reward kind of thing. Alton! Yay! You are here! I am here! Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I can relax now. Exhale. Woo! Oh my goodness. It's always such a relief to get home, or well, I say get home because I've still got a little bit to get home, but I mean, it's always nice to arrive in Alton. I feel so reassured when I see the lights of Alton. Every night it's just like, yay, I've seen the sign, I've seen the lights, I'm here, I'm safe, you know. Oh wow, it's so nice. That was a good ride actually. That wasn't one of the worst rides home, to be fair. That was a pretty good ride home. That was one of the better ones. And some of you might think otherwise, but yeah, I've done it, like I said, when it's completely, absolutely chucking it down and the wind's down and you can't barely see anything. And with mist as well. I've done it when there's mist as well. And it's absolutely just not very nice at all. Underneath the watercress line, that's what that bridge is, the watercress line, the heritage line that we have here in Alton. For those of you who haven't visited before, please come over. It's absolutely fabulous. It's a great day out. Steam trains and diesels. And this is Alton at night. See, I'm being a good biker, look. Getting the green smiley face. You don't want the red angry face. What have we got over here? 153, 154 and 190. Eek. I have to get some juice for Little 'Un tomorrow. You're hungry, aren't you? Give Little 'Un some juice. What have we got at Sainsbury's? How much is that at Sainsbury's? We have 153, so it's a penny cheaper, and 182, 183, sorry. Oh dear. So at this point, we'll be soon arriving at Journey's End. Well, I shouldn't say that just yet, because we've still got to cross this roundabout, which can be very dicey because it's a bit blind from the left, and sometimes people think that there's nobody around and then they come shooting across. But yeah, we're now approaching Journey's End. So if this is recorded and this is up on YouTube and you are watching, then thank you so much for watching and taking the time to watch it. And until the next time, my name's Susanna and I am the Piaggio MP3 Explorer. So take care and thank you very much.